So I've been meaning to do this for a while. Yes, of course, that's some dead mouse playing, and I have the initial illustration set up on the big screen there, so you can actually see some of the detail and everything that shows the whole premise of Insanity Print and Publish. But I was going to show you my 3D design portfolio, because I wanted to show you some of the stuff that I've made as far as 3D modeling goes and creation. I initially started off dark so we can do this, and actually you can see the black light aspect. And the actual light. Yes, they both work. But now we're going to go into further explanation of everything. So here we had the yin yang lamp that you might have seen pictured on other places, but I just wanted you to see the overall design so you can understand the different elements that go into it. The fact that both hands, one demonic and one human, actually both hold the light and look as though they're saluting with shot glasses, which gives the concept a tribute to death and a salute to life. Hence the balance. Here we have a 3D pop-up book from 2D to 3D. And it actually shows the story and the creation of what happens when you develop 2D to 3D. Tells you a little story using all the characters so you can actually develop 2D to 3D. You can even read the little story if you want to, starting with the point. The point's linking up. They create a line. The lines will then link up. And they create a plane. The planes link up, and they create volume. On the back page, of course, is the cast of characters that actually shows the development of point all the way to volume. This was when we visited the sculpture park. We were supposed to take one of the sculptures and actually develop a concept from the sculpture itself to make a functional object. I made a picture frame for the picture of the sculpture, which is the eyes, and then the frame itself I designed and made it look like holographics, and it actually says, "See the future. Can you see it? I can." right here we have the 7x7 transform cube. This actually is somewhat interactive. I made it to look kind of like a package, so it actually says what happens in here stays in here, but it's because as you lift up the top, pull it open. It's got the 7x7 cube, but what it actually does is it transforms into a scene of Vegas. You got little playing cards in there, die, extra dice for playing craps, some coins in there, and yeah, all that stuff's movable. Yeah, it's a picture box, but you can actually take the dice and play the dice. So overall, it's just an initial model, but in the long run, the concept could be even maybe like a souvenir gift from Vegas itself, so you can actually give it to your kids so they can play with it or something to that effect. Here's my wire form that I made. I called it Wired for Sound because it actually is an iPod connected to a phonograph, and you can actually take the spindle of the iPod and put it on the record player of the phonograph and actually move the needle to actually play the record, just for fun. I also have the sequential plane. Now the sequential plane, I called it the infinite window of the soul because I basically took sequential planes and used color grades of gradation, making a Mobius strip that you could actually pick up and move around, but the effect of it made it look like an iris of an eye, hence being called the infinite window of the soul. And then here we got the 3 different forms to make an animal, using clay, using blue foam, and then also using macaroni. I went with the concept of, since they were 3 pigs, called it the 3 boss hogs, naming them each clay, being made of clay, blue, being made of blue foam, mac, being made of macaroni, and it's supposed to be the concept of like a storybook. And if you can see on the bottom, it says, "Made pigs. Welcome to the family. Wolves beware." And then lastly, this was the Zen garden I had created. And it was a to-scale model that could actually be built as an installation to show the 3 basic forms going in progression. The bonsai tree was made from steel wool and wire. It has an actual Zen garden down here to where you can rake it with a little rake. You got a little Buddha back there and everything. And then the progression of forms actually has haikus for each level, starting with the triangle, we have cannot be upset, wide base for stability, steadfast fortitude. And then we go next to the square, and its haiku is move with extreme force, no constant mobility, giving us structure. And lastly, we move up to the yin-yang, the balance. And its haiku is forever moving, all angles have symmetry, remains in balance. And that was the 3D design portfolio that I ended up making in my 3D design class. I will now show you some of the modeling work that I've done.